A reading from the prophet Joel. Do not fear, O soil, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord has done great things. Do not fear, you animals of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness are green. The tree bears its fruit. The fig tree and vine give their full yield. O children of Zion, be glad, and rejoice in the Lord your God. For he has given you early rain for your vindication. He has poured down for you abundant rain, the early and the later rain, as before. The threshing floors shall be full of grain. The vats shall overflow with wine and oil. I will repay you for the years that the swarming locust has eaten. The hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter, my great army which I sent against you. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of your Lord God, who has dealt wondrously with you. And my people shall never again be put to shame. You shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I, the Lord, am your God, and that there is no other. And my people shall never again be put to shame. The word of the Lord.
Psalm 126. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, then were we like those who dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with shouts of joy. Then they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are glad indeed. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like the watercourses of the Negev. Those who sowed with tears will reap with songs of joy. Those who go out weeping, carrying the seed, will come again with joy, shouldering the sheaves.
First Corinthians 13. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth, and bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never ends. But as for prophecies, they will come to an end. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will come to an end. For we know only in part, and we prophesy only in part. But when the complete comes, the partial will come to an end. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put an end to my childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will fully know, even as I have been fully known. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your span of life? And why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not clothed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? Therefore do not worry, saying, what will we eat, what we will drink, or what will we wear? For it is the Gentiles who strive for all these things. And indeed, your heavenly Father knows that you need all of these things. But strive first for the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well.
I'm here today to talk to you about not taking things for granted. Taking things for granted is something all of us do. This year, both of my siblings are away. My brother goes to boarding school in New York, and my sister is studying a year abroad in Spain. All of us have probably at some point fought with our siblings. We either get annoyed or even wish that we were an only child. But I can assure you that when they are not home, we will miss them. Around the holidays, people usually think you should be spending time with your family. I will be spending time with my mom, dad, and brother, but not my sister. She will be on an entirely different continent than the rest of my family. In all fairness, I do not know what she's doing for Thanksgiving. I have argued with my siblings before, but the fight that had probably caused me to be the most upset was when I had just come back from one of my YMCA soccer games. My brother and sister had not come to see me play. I remember that I had gone to my brother's soccer game the day before. I was really upset because it was not fair. I was supporting them, but they were not supporting me. I realized that my brother and sister had never come to my games, and I had always gone to their lacrosse or soccer games. That does not sound that bad, but I always got annoyed. I'd either start crying or not talk to my family, because my siblings never had to go to any of my games besides when my parents made them. They were old enough to say home alone when I was 5, 6, 7, so you might not imagine I was allowed to stay home by myself. I used to wish I could stay home by myself because I partly wanted to do what my older siblings were doing, text their friends, watch TV. I don't even know what I would have done if I was left alone. I guess I just wanted to make a plan. Then I was upset. But now I just see it as a silly argument because it was not that important. If you had told me 3 or 4 years ago that my brother and sister were going to be gone for the whole school year, I would not have cared that much. But now it's actually happening. I care more than I thought I would. My brother has been gone for 3 years, so I'm a little more used to it. When he first left, I knew he was basically going to be gone for 7 years. I would see him during summer and over breaks. But in those first years when I came home, my sister would still be there. Now when I come home, the house is quiet. The point is, and what I'm trying to leave you with today, is something to think about over break, is that family is valuable, and so are your friends and teachers, and your education and your health. We see these things every day, so they're easier to take for granted. Don't wait until the things and people you care about are gone to realize how important they are to you.
Usually when people make these sort of speeches, they recall a time that made them realize their blessings, and because of that, feel more grateful. So when I first heard I was going to be giving this, I started racking my brain, trying to think of a time when I felt grateful that would actually be acceptable. Because something told me that sharing I was grateful when Virginia Tech won against the Tar Heels didn't make the cut. But as I thought about what I was going to say, I realized that it doesn't have to be some little thing that I did or saw. Sometimes it's good to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Family, friends, school, good health, etc. all end up clumping together in this big lump of good fortune. Though as I was thinking, I decided to maybe zoom in on one point that stood out to me the most: family. A few weeks ago, my Aunt Margie had died from a stroke. The day after Halloween, we went to the funeral home to pay our respects. When we got there, I guess I expected there to be more people than our family mourning for their loved ones, or that there weren't going to be so many people there mourning for her. Out of everyone that was there, I probably didn't know half the people that were there, and that made me feel kind of bad, because this is my own family I'm talking about here. I shook hands, paid my respects, shook even more hands. And even though we were gathering for a sad occasion, there was still a sense of unity in the air. And for the tears that were shed, there was a good amount of smiles and laughter to back it up, after not seeing most of my family for so long. And as I looked around at everyone in the room, it made me feel happy that my aunt had so many people who knew and loved her. And it made me feel grateful to know that when she had died, the Lord will be taking good care of her in heaven. It also made me feel grateful that from heaven she would be watching over me.
even though I didn't see her that much, on Easter and maybe around Christmas. But that wasn't the point. She loved me, and I loved her. She made an impact on my life, and probably everyone else at her visitation. And so, as we each go our separate ways for Thanksgiving break, I'd like you to remember what Thanksgiving is really all about. Reunion, reflection, gratitude. I'm emphasizing reunion and gratitude because it's a real gift to be able to spend time with your family during the next couple of days. Each person at the table on Thanksgiving is important, which is why Thanksgiving is so special. On that day, every day really, but on that day especially, everybody is wanted, everybody is appreciated, everybody is loved.
Good morning. My name is George, and I'm in the 6th grade. I'm thankful for many things. However, I'm going to talk about one subject today. The things that we take for granted every day, such as family, friends, school, and technology. First, I'll start with technology. I'm thankful for technology because it surrounds our lives every day, and without it, our lives would be completely different. We wouldn't be able to text our friends or play games on our phones. Whenever we go to check our phones or to do something on our computer, we don't think about the hardships others face to make our lives so comfortable. Like when Apple locks up their workers in a factory somewhere in China and pays them 25 cents an hour to build hundreds of phones and computers. Next, I will talk about family and my friends. Without family, none of us would be where we are right now. The next time you say you hate your mom because she didn't get you some insignificant video game, or that you hate your dad because he doesn't let you go to a friend's party, just think about how much they do for you, like paying for your tuition and putting up with our nonsense. Friends can help us in so many ways. Without friends, we wouldn't have people that we could talk to when we were sad or upset. Friends can also make us laugh and be happy. Just think about how many fun memories you've made with your friends. Lastly, I'll talk about our schools and teachers. We go to the best schools in Richmond that have hardworking teachers that genuinely care for us and want us to succeed in school and life. Our schools give us so many ways to express ourselves and be creative. In one of my favorite classes, which is coding, I learned how to make games on Scratch. With that experience, I made my own games. I'm very thankful for St. Christopher's because they have changed my life. I've been here for 8 years, and without this school, I wouldn't be where I am now. Many of us don't understand how good our school is. Thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
So I kind of did incorporate taking things for granted into my speech, but I'm not copying anyone. My name is Winston Morris, and I'm in 7th grade at St. Christopher's. There's so many things I'm thankful for, but there are only a few that mean the most to me. If I could talk about all of them, I'd probably pass out shortly into it. So last year, during the service and right after the first speech, I just thought, I want to do that next year. It's kind of like when a 3-year-old has that aha moment when they find their Uncle Laszlo gaming downstairs in his parents' basement, and they're just like, I can't wait to be an adult. So yeah, I just kind of decided I wanted to do it. And for a year, I've known exactly what I was going to talk about. Friends. Now, I know this kind of seems a bit cliche because like everyone's grateful for their friends. They're what get you through the school day usually. They're You hang out with them all the time and you talk to them about your problems and treat them as therapists. They're your crying shoulder for when your family member dies, or your pet dies, or when your Minecraft girlfriend breaks up with you. They're always there for you, and sometimes a friend will even save your life. So originally I was going to go into a full-on story describing as much of the detail as I could, but then I told him I was gonna do a speech about him, and he asked me not to use his name. So I'm gonna call him Fred, because that's pretty good. He's also asked me not to call him anything, but if I just keep calling him a friend, that kind of just sounds bland, and yeah. So back in 3rd grade, Fred and I decided to go sledding because it was a snow day, and there's a really good place near Fred and I's house that we go sledding every year. So as we were heading over to the place, we kind of got into an argument. And of course, being 3rd grade me, I thought I was right and nothing would prove me wrong. So then I decided to run ahead and ignore him. I wasn't exactly the brightest 3rd grader. And so eventually, after a few minutes of being ahead of him, he shouted over to me. I thought he was just trying to do something else with the argument, so I decided to ignore him. And a few seconds later, he called my name again. His voice was a lot louder this time, and he sounded a lot closer. So I turned around to find him shoving me into a snowmound on the side of the road and diving into another one as a car sped past us. He saved my life that day, and everything that's happened in the past 4 years, I owe to him. And I also feel like sometimes we don't appreciate our friends enough. We all pretty much fight with our friends all the time and just argue with them, and I feel like the next time a friend gets mad at you, or you get mad at a friend, just don't try to prove your point and just blow up at them. Just think about everything that they've done for you. My name is Winston Morris, and I'm thankful for friendship.
Hello, my name is Layla Mattel, and I'm a 7th grader at St. Catherine's. Today, I'm going to be talking about what I'm grateful for this year. When I heard that I got the opportunity to speak at the Thanksgiving service, I was thrilled. This is a great chance that I might not get again, so I was not passing it up. When I was in my car, coming home from school, I was thinking about the main things I was grateful for. And what I noticed was that there were a lot of places, people, and things that I was grateful for. I kept looking back to all the opportunities all of us get here at St. Catherine's. I'm so grateful for the friends, teachers, and education I have here at St. Catherine's. I've never been to a school with this great of a community. I've only been at St. Catherine's for 2 years, and I joined St. Catherine's in 5th grade. I came from a super small private school with about 80 to 90 students in the whole school. When I first came to St. Catherine's, I was most worried about making friends. But the first week of school, I quickly realized how kind, compassionate, and empathetic everybody here at St. Catherine's was. There was no person that ever told me I couldn't sit with them at lunch, walk with them to class, or be their partner in PE. Every person was so welcoming. I never thought transitioning to St. Catherine's would be so easy and smooth. Another thing I'm grateful for is my family. I don't know where in the world I would be without my family. My family provides me with so many things I know I can't live without, like my food, water, and beautiful home. My parents work hard each day for my sister and I so that we can do all our extracurricular activities and go to school each day. My parents do so much for me that I never noticed. I am also grateful for my little sister Kiersey, who just turned 10 years old. Even though siblings might not always show their love for one another, it's always there. My life would be boring without my sister. Even though she might always be super loud and talkative, I cannot live without her. I would have no one to complain to or vent about my day, nor would I have anyone to hang out with at home. The final thing that I am grateful for is the amazing class of 2025 that I get to go to school with. Every day when I come to school, I look forward to seeing my friends and peers. Can anyone imagine their life without their friends? That would be so hard.
My friends support, guide, and care for me when I need it. Whenever I need them, they are always by my side. Imagine how New York and China would have been without our friends. My friends is what makes school fun. Friends face problems together, care for one another, and most of all, make each other laugh. The three main things that I'm grateful for this year is my school, family, and friends. Thank you so much for listening to what I'm grateful for this year.
Hi, my name is Oliver Smith, and I'm an 8th grader at St. Christopher's. I'm here today because I would like to share some things that I am thankful for. Joseph Connor, your petition has single-handedly affected my life more than anything else this fall. I no longer shuffle to the dining hall, trying to figure out how I'm going to eat today. Thank you for taking the initiative and making change happen. In all seriousness, I am very thankful for my parents, for always loving and putting up with me. I am also grateful for my teachers. I think what makes St. Christopher's teachers so unique is their accessibility. Whether I'm going in early to ask a question, or staying after class for help understanding a concept, they want you to thrive and understand the material. To each one of my teachers, I'm very grateful for your hard work and always being available to us. Another thing I am grateful for is our freedom. In light of the protests in Hong Kong, where high school and college students are fighting for something we are born into, it makes me realize how great freedom really is. They are getting arrested and beaten for something I do not lift a finger to have or possess: freedom. I am also thankful for our armed services. I'm the son of a Navy fighter pilot. I'm very proud of my dad and all he has done for our country. I'm thankful for all the men and women that are spending their Thanksgiving away from their families and standing on the wall to protect our freedom. I'm also thankful for the many blessings that the Lord lays upon our St. Christopher's and St. Catherine's community. Lastly, I'm thankful for my friends. I have an experience that I would like to share with y'all from this past summer. Imagine a 7-week camp located in New Hampshire at the foothill of the White Mountains that has absolutely no technology or electricity. Sounds horrible, right? This camp that I go to is actually one of the most amazing places in the world. The lack of technology is refreshing because it forces you to figure out ways to have fun when you have nothing to do rather than just going on your phone. Every Sunday, we dress up in wool shorts, a white button-down, a tie, and walk out in the woods for chapel. Our camp director, named Mr. Vinny, always gives a sermon about a core value that is prominent in our lives. I'll never forget the time he talked about friendship. He started speaking about how good friends treat each other and how to be a good friend. For example, good friends don't try to control you or use you for their gain. Good friends stick up for you in the face of adversity, even at a cost for themselves. I realize how some of these things that we do without even thinking can be hurtful. For example, teasing about someone's appearance, or always trying to one-up your friends. I am definitely guilty of some of these things and want to be better. We all have different strengths, whether it's music, academics, art, sports, or theater. Appreciating these strengths in each of us is something that we should all strive to do. Is it possible that we could be better friends by thinking about what our classmates have that is special and unique, allowing us to be a better friend to them? As Maya Angelou, a famous American author and poet, said, "At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel."
Hi, I'm Sophie Sullivan. I'd like to welcome everyone to the St. Catherine's Thanksgiving service. What comes to mind when you hear Thanksgiving? Maybe turkey, huge meals, and pumpkin pie, right? When I hear it, I think of turkey. But if I think about it more deeply, I think of family and friends. When you get older, you move out and go explore the world. But during Thanksgiving, many people always return home to spend time with family and friends. Holidays such as this one can reunite you with older friends and family that you haven't seen in a while, and can remind you of how warm and comforting it was to be surrounded by the people you grew up with and loved. It allows you to disconnect with the things that aren't as important. I have a feeling if we dig a little deeper, each of us have some similar memories and therefore meanings. For me, when Thanksgiving comes around, the memories of going to my grandmother's house bring so much joy. Being with cousins, uncles, aunts, and of course my grandparents, with all of us laughing, eating, and playing games together. When I think of that joy, it changes my perspective on life. It makes me think deeper about my future and how things will change, which makes these memories even more important. When I grow up, I might only see my family on special occasions. If that does happen, then I would miss the joy of how everyone gathers around my grandmother's table, holding hands in a circle and bowing our heads as we say a prayer. This is a memory with a deep meaning I will always keep with me. While writing this and thinking of how important family is, I also began to think about what will happen when I graduate and what will become of my friends and me. I know it's still about 4 years from now, but if I don't live in the moment and pay attention, then I know it will be here in the blink of an eye. So first, I'd like to say that I'm thankful for St. Catherine's. First, for the opportunities St. Catherine's offers for girls. At St. Catherine's, we can do so much, such as performing in school plays, having Little Sisters in the lower school, joining Model UN, and speaking at services such as this one. St. Catherine's encourages us to help our community and promotes girl power. For all of these opportunities, I'm so thankful. Not only can we do so much here, but St. Catherine's provides us lifelong friends. I remember when I first came to St. Catherine's in 5th grade, I didn't know anyone and felt lonely. I was super quiet then, but because of a few girls that reached out to me, I now smile every day and feel at home. A reminder to me the importance of reaching out to others to offer a smile, laughter, friendship, and new memories. I'm grateful for all the traveling opportunities St. Catherine's has given my friends and me, such as the most recent trip to the Chesapeake Bay. Playing hide and seek in the mud on the bay trip will forever be in my memory. The Chesapeake Bay was my favorite trip because we didn't have any schedules or phones, which made us live in the moment and take in what's going on around us. But what will happen when there are no more trips to places like New York and Knight's Head? What will happen when I have to leave my friends and make new ones? Saying this, I intend on making every day count as though there is no tomorrow, and to make as much of life as I can. Be grateful for the little things like the opportunities you are offered at school, or your friends, and especially your family. This past summer, I went out to eat with my family and we had a great time. We laughed with each other and enjoyed a great meal. It made me feel happy. A perfect example of making the most of our time with what's most important in life. What I hope you take away from this moment is to make the most of your time with your family and friends this holiday season. In closing, I hope you'll all join me in a bit more turkey, a bit more pie, a bit more thoughtfulness, a bit more friendliness, a bit more helpfulness, a bit more thankfulness, so it lasts a bit more than this Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving.